everybody, happy Thursday. I know the camera angle's a little weird, but I can't find my tripod since Sean and I came back from Scotland. So I'm gonna have to find it because right now it's sitting on the books. That's why I'm kind of looking down at you like, hey. But anyway, happy Thursday. For any of you who didn't watch the video before, I encourage you to watch it because I just got back from Scotland and I'm sad to be home. I had such a great time. It was great to meet everybody. And everybody was so friendly. The 9 days I was there were like, pew, gone. Presto gono. It's like back to reality. Back to life. I'm just joking. Anyway, so when it's Thursday, if any of you are new to my channel, welcome. Oh, and I've received a lot of interest from people asking if I do travel and if I do come to different places. And the answer is yes. The reason that it worked out with Elgin, and thank you Sarah and Tori and Donna for setting all of that up in the Elgin Youth Cafe, is because when I come to visit, like what I've done locally in Los Angeles in the area, just talking at schools mostly, and I've also done little seminars for other therapists and just teaching them about something I know about, and then they'll teach us something else. It's kind of like a peer, not supervision, but kind of just a learning experience for everybody. But the way that it works, if you're hoping that I'll travel to your community to talk, it's definitely something that can happen. The way that it works best is if, first of all, we'll have to fundraise because I can't afford to not only take time off of work, but also to travel. And so, you know, getting Sean and I there and paying for the hotel, and that gets really costly. And so those are things that you'll have to fundraise for. But also, I'm willing to set up workshops and different speaking engagements with you, but you have to let me know how to do that, and you have to put everybody together, and then I kind of show up and talk and hang out and all that good stuff. And then, yeah, we do as much as we can to raise awareness in your area. And also, I'll do meetups, and I like to learn about different mental health issues and how your mental health, the health system even works. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me. Let me know. But it'll be something that you'll have to do work on. Like Sarah and Donna and Tori did a lot of work to put Inspiration Week together and to get everyone out. So just keep that in mind. But I have bag, will travel. Okay. So anyway, on Thursdays, I do an FAQ video or something about the news. And so today I did an FAQ, and I gathered those questions. If any of you are like, where do I ask my questions? Ask them below this video or the video before it, or you can ask it on the website, katiemorton.com, under Katie's Videos, Q&A for videos, okay? Okay, wow, we're running late. I'm chatting a lot. First question, let's get going. Hey, Katie. I feel like my therapist isn't really talking about issues with me, and he never confronts me with things. Never confronts me with things I have a hard time with. I asked him about this, and he said I'm responsible for talking about difficult things, and that he wants me to have a good, structured, and stable base before developing things further and going deeper. What do you think of this? I'm clueless. Now I want to talk about this because, first of all, I got a lot of thumbs up. And also, a lot of people wonder about these. I get a lot of questions about, you know, what do we bring up and how do we bring it up and all of that stuff. And it can be really confusing and really hard. But this is kind of bullshit from the therapist. I mean, I don't like to talk trash on other therapists. And maybe I'm just misunderstanding because obviously I'm hearing it through someone else. But the way that I work with my therapist, with my clients as their therapist is, yes, we're going to have hard things. But it's my duty as the therapist to figure out which hard things I think are best to dive into and to focus on and part of our goals as a whole. And then it's your duty as the client to do the hard work. So I will bring it up. I will ask the tough questions. I will try to get you talking. I will do all of that stuff. But if you don't want to talk about it, then I really can't help you. So there's the boundary. And maybe that's what they mean, but if you're ready to dive into the hard things and they're kind of stopping you, I may look into seeing another therapist, or I bring it up again and just say, I'm feeling really discouraged because I'm really, really ready to dive into this stuff. And I know it takes time. I know it's a process, but I want to get that process started because I feel like I'm, you know, treading water, or I'm like stuck or plateauing, or whatever word you want to use. But that's how the kind of push and pull of therapy works. I'm going to ask you the hard questions. I'm going to, you know, let's say you have an abuse past and say, do you remember the first time you were abused? I want you to walk me through that. And, you know, we're going to slowly work through those things together, but you have to do the work on the other side. So yeah, that's how it should work. And so if they're not even asking the hard questions, then maybe we'll find someone who will. Okay? Question number 2. Hey, Katie, what do I do if I think that my parents are my biggest trigger? Now, I made this a very shortened version of the actual question. So for the girl who asked it, just know that I read it and I responded. And this is just a shortened version for the video. I'm worried because I have to move back in with them for a bit after uni because of financial reasons. What do I do? I hear from a lot of you that your parents are your biggest trigger. And there are a couple things we can do. First, we have to keep in mind that we can't control other people. If they're really triggering and your mom's always on a diet, depends on what you're struggling with. If your parents put you down, if they're not supportive, I know that parents do the best they can. I can't even imagine being a parent, and I know it'll be really hard, and it's kind of, a really difficult job, and it can be a thankless job a lot. So keep in mind that your parents are doing the best they can. Most parents, not all, but most, aren't doing anything to be malicious. They either A, don't understand, or B, are too busy and stressed out about their own shit that they don't take time to check in with you and to see how you're doing. There could be a lot of things going on. But if they're your largest trigger, we can only control ourselves. Now, you may want to put together a thing where you sit down with them and tell them some things that make it hard for you, because then they can change if they're willing. But I would put a plan in place. I work with a lot of my clients when they're going home for periods of time or they're going on vacation, and we have a plan. What are your distraction tools? What's your support team? Who can you reach out to? What's your schedule looking like while you're there? We can do a lot of things to keep ourselves busy, to surround ourselves with positive people, to distract when things get bad. We can prepare a speech to tell our parents what we're struggling with if they don't know, and to let them know. I have a video about how to do that. So search, tell your parents, Katie Morton. I'm sure something will come up, because those are all the things that we can do. And at that point, that's as far as we can go. But that's a long ways. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of distracting. That's a lot of planning. That's a lot of preparing. That's a lot of communicating. And at that point, I would hope that your parents will not feel like as large of a trigger as they did when you first got there. Now, I know that takes time, but if you're going to be stuck there for a while, it might be the best for you to just start putting a plan together, start practicing how you want to talk to them and what you need from them, and let's start doing it. Because otherwise, people in our lives are just always going to be triggering, and I'd hate to think that you wouldn't want to go home anytime in your life because of that, and it would be a struggle and you would really have a hard time. I'd hope that if you were my client, I would hope that there would be a point in your life where you can go home whenever you want, come and stay as long, and leave, when you're ready, and you're okay with that. And so that would be one of my goals for you if you were my client. And so I think that you can work on those things and come to that on your own. Okay? And if any of you have experience with that, let us know below. Okay. Journal topic. Thanks, Courtney, for sending this out. You ready? Everybody ready? Says, hey, everyone, I ran across this quote on Pinterest. Don't you just love Pinterest for quotes? I know, I do. And I thought it would make for an interesting journal topic. If you hear a voice, this is the journal topic, quote, if you hear a voice within you say, you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. That's by Vincent van Gogh. I've heard that before, and it's a really good quote. I titled my journal entry, A Word of Advice from Van Gogh, and I added the quote in it at the top of the page. This quote really inspired me to focus on silencing that negative voice inside my head and remembering that I am capable. I really recommend it. And I want to highlight that. And remembering that I am capable. Because I think all of us underestimate ourselves, put ourselves down when we don't really need to, and we don't have any facts to back it up. And remembering that we're capable, that we can, that if there's with a little preparation and a little bit of guts, we can do it. And instead of letting that negative voice win out and us feeling bad all the time, silence that stupid voice. So thanks, Courtney, for sending that out. I hope you all love it. I will see you Monday with my regularly scheduled video. I love you all. Have a good one. Bye.